I want to get into branding specifically for people that are just getting started or considering entrepreneurship, because you know what? All right, let's do this first. Is there a difference between branding and marketing?
Yes.
And what is it? What's the difference between branding and marketing?
Branding is who you are. Marketing is who knows you. In the simplest form, right? Like, you can have an incredible brand identity without a great marketing strategy behind that, no one will ever know. Or you can have a great marketing strategy where you know how to really sell, but you don't have a great product. And so that's where, like, I strongly advise, like, a team. A speaker that I heard, I can't remember his name, gave me an advice of going to read Richard Branson's book, and the first 2 pages of his book. Just see how many times in that space that he says me, and how many times he says we, and he says me 0 times, and he says we 32 times, because a great brand has to have 3 components that one person can't successfully fill these roles because they're too strenuous. You have to have someone who can create it, someone who can sell it, and someone who can watch the money. Because all of those things are so important. One person won't be able to do all 3 successfully. And so that's where a strong team is super important. But we think of we think Facebook is one guy. If you watch the movie, if you study the history, it was 3 of them that started it. But for Steve Jobs, there's Wozniak. Like, everyone had an incredible team, because it's just like, hey, Hillman may be my guy who can market, sell. He's the face. But without me being able to run the financials, there's nothing there. We have nothing. We're gonna crumble. We'll sell, and then we won't be able to manage our money. So that's the difference. But the brand is the identity, right? Hillman is his brand. He's Inner Greatness. That's his brand. Inner Greatness is Hillman Evans, and no one can duplicate that, because it's synonymous with him. And so your podcast is synonymous with you. I'm not saying that you're the only podcast in the world, but that's your brand. Now the market is, how do we find a creative strategy to get people to listen to your podcast versus someone else in the same space?